Welcome back from your work break. Now we are going to create a SMART goal. So for step 2, we're going to create a SMART goal by focusing on teaching and learning priorities. And in this case, for this example, we're focusing on teaching and learning priority number 2, which is to increase student outcomes in literacy. So if you remember from the beginning of this module, the goal was to move 50% of students up one level. That lacked a little specificity, so what we're going to do is clarify that and say now that we're going to move 50% of students in the 2 bands, which strategic and intensive, up one level from beginning of the year to the middle of the year, and from the middle of the year to the end of the year. It's always really impactful if your teams can identify not necessarily the percentages either, but possibly how many students are included in that, because 50% of students could be 10 kids. 50% of students could be 20 kids. That changes if it's also reasonable and achievable. So now that it's specific, it's measurable, it's timely because these are generally benchmarking times within the school year, and so they fit really nicely into those spaces. And we also need to be checking with our teams that these are achievable and reasonable. Again, if we can go back and reflect on some historical data, trend data, that would be really impactful to help you judge if these can be achieved. It can also provide some perspective as to if students are not moving, go back and then you can really go dig a little bit deeper and create some other SMART goals around specific students or groups of students. It's time for another work break. We're going to take those teaching and learning priorities or priority and craft them into SMART goals. Remember to make them specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, and timely. You do not want to overwhelm your team that's working so hard already in their classrooms. Make sure that you account for progress made in between, how you're going to be measuring progress throughout, and how you will be communicating that. It's important to involve everyone. Even though there might be a small team working on these priorities, everyone needs to hold value in them.